Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Tonight I'm going to be doing some nosing tests as well as an unboxing of the neat glass. So when we go and open this up, this has two different glasses in it, and they're actually relatively unpackaged here. There's a little separator and then another second glass. So pretty easy, not a whole lot of flair, nor should there be, really. So I'm gonna go wash these and then we can talk about them. Now that these are all clean, I went ahead and I poured some of my Maker's Mark Private Select over into this glass, just so you can kind of tell, and we can talk about it with the swirling and whatnot. And I can talk about some of the features of this glass. So if you look at this, there's a lot going on here, right? This is a weird looking glass. Definitely unique, right? It almost looks like somebody took a Glencairn and put it through the hydraulic press channel, right? And it's just kind of squished down here. So the reason that they do this is several things. They really tried to reimagine what a whiskey glass should be. You've seen everything from a tumbler down to a Glencairn, but there aren't a whole lot of variations in the width and kind of the choke point here of the glass. So that's what they were aiming for. What they wanted to do was give you a large area at the bottom so that there was a good amount of surface area for evaporation to happen. But they also wanted to give it a pretty decent choke point so everything gets concentrated. Now you've also got the flared top so that the ethanol comes out the side of the rim here and the nose of the actual whiskey concentrates in the center. And once again, by putting everything right in the middle, you can smell this by either smelling right in the center, or if you're actually taking a sip, your nose is going to be kind of in the sweet spot, which I'm sure was by design. So let's go ahead and do some nosing of this and see how it compares to a Glencairn. Now, I will say back in 2012 is when this thing kind of came out, and they started using it for competitions, and the testers actually really liked it. So that was what made me think to test this particular glass, is the fact that it's got a good pedigree, or at least a good reputation. Pedigree might not be the right word here. So while I'm swirling it, it's kind of nice actually. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. So if you hold it by the top here, you can swirl or whatever, but you're not going to warm up your whiskey. Or if you're just more comfortable holding it at the bottom, you may end up in a situation where you are warming the whiskey with your touch, which people who drink whiskey enough know that a warmer whiskey, more than room temperature, will occasionally be a little bit different than one that is room temperature. So it's worth doing. For the sake of showing this on camera though, I'm going to put my hands at the bottom. All right, so if I swirl, I will say that already twice while swirling here, I've gotten some whiskey on my hand. So that feels a bit like a flaw, but I'm not sure if I am just kind of overdoing it because I'm on camera. So I fill it up to the widest area, which is about 1.5 ounces, and that's what the box, or the directions I should say, suggest. So I filled this properly, and it does in fact kind of slosh a bit. I'm just listening here. There's no agitation based off the glass. There's no real sloshing about. So although I'm sure it's evaporating, it doesn't have fins or anything like that. So let's go ahead and give this a nose. And I love the way that this whiskey smells. I'm actually happy I chose this one to do here, because I've been able to smell it this whole time. And I'm curious if that's just because it's rolling off of the tulip, or if it's just evaporating in the air. So anyway, let me go ahead and nose this from the outside to see if it's more heavy on the ethanol, and then I'll nose the inside. Smells like Maker's Mark. I gotta say, this one makes a difference. I'm very happy, very pleased to say that. I bought a lot of different kinds of glasses for this week, and I wanted to make sure that I could come away with something different than a Glencairn all the time. So I will say I'm not getting all alcohol when I'm sniffing on the side, which is what I would have expected. It's more just muted. I'm wondering if it's reducing the alcohol, but not giving it the flavor, if you want to refer to it as that you would get on the nose. It's just kind of a empty ethanol kind of nose to that. maybe I'm not explaining that well, but let's just say it's very muted along the side compared to the center. I'm going to try to give this one a sip while nosing, so see what that's like. So the nose does not improve while you're sipping, at least not for me. One thing that I don't love is sipping it. This has such a flair that I had to gingerly sip it. I could absolutely see myself spilling this on myself as I'm drinking it based off that flair. As it was typically, like if I were to go off of a Glencairn here, you know, you nose it and you sip it and it goes right into your mouth. And this one kind of spreads out, so it probably got about 3/4 of my mouth before it really actually went into my lips, if that makes sense. So I could see myself making a mistake and just right across my face. Didn't happen, so I won't give it points off or anything like that, but I do think it's worth noting that that will absolutely happen. Especially as you drink a few. So for nosing though, I'm liking this. It's not, what I think this would be good for is if you are a person who does not like alcohol burn, or if you're introducing somebody new to whiskey and you want to reduce some of the harshness, this is key. A Glencairn will not do that for the person. However, a tumbler would. So it doesn't give a whole lot more benefit than just reducing some of the alcohol. And you probably already have a tumbler. In case you can't tell, I'm kind of on the fence about whether I would recommend this or not. The price for each of these is $11. So the pack of 2 was roughly $22. That's expensive. Each one of these is worth the price of 2 of these. Makes it hard to recommend, except that it's cool looking. And when we're talking glassware, you know, aesthetics matter. You want functionality, but you also want form. It's not like the bottle of whiskey, right? When you look at a bottle, you can look at it and maybe one of them is really cool looking, or maybe one of them is really dumb looking. But ultimately, it's the whiskey inside. Here, the glass is kind of part of drinking the whiskey. I don't know. I'm not sure if, I would be interested to know what you guys think in the comments, honestly. I don't normally ask for comments on things like this, but I'm a little bit on the fence about whether I would recommend this. I think for the price and for the experience that you could try it yourself and to know that this is used in competitions, I would err on the side of saying that you should buy this. But it's, once again, a little bit of a tough sell for me. So if you've tried this before, put in the comments what you think. Let me know if you decide to buy this. I'll put a link down in the description below to Amazon. Basically, I get like a couple cents if you buy it. It's really not going to make any sort of difference for me, but it's more for convenience for you. So if you'd like to purchase this, then consider using that link. I'm going to ultimately give it a suggestion that you give this a shot. I think for $22, something new, something different, and being able to hand somebody one of these and say, hey, look at my new whiskey glass, they're gonna think you're a little weird, but it's definitely different. It definitely does something different. Okay, thank you for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.